excellent JLP show. Oh, here. It's a 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. It is the 26th Happy Men's History Month. 26th of August, AD 2025. And I will get to your calls if you'd like to call in. 1-888-775-3773. Hello to you guys. Late as usual. Pirate scum. Just kidding. That was a quote from Lord of the Rings. What's up, Angban Art? Cloud Bops. Harrison. Nostradamus. Negrodamus. I don't know how to pronounce you guys' names. Either of you. Nostradamus nor Negrodamus. Hello, Everblazer. Hey, man. And so the views expressed on this show do not represent those of Hake. I don't even represent myself. Bond, JLP, a Happy Men's History Month, like I said, but specifically to the banned. To those of you who have been banned, please, please, do not take it personally. You can judge Hake. I definitely understand it. You can judge yourself, but it's unwise to do either. Don't trip. Everybody is stupid sometimes. Okay? I got myself banned from one show. I was being silly, and I deserved the ban. Sometimes, I suppose you could call it deserve the ban. And so it's not a big deal. Okay. I get that for some of you, the live chat becomes a big part of your life. Those of you who participate in the live chat, being a mod is a big part of your identity if you're a mod sometimes. And then you get the mod status stripped away. It's so unfair. I'm being punished. No, that's the wrong type of thinking. Take everything with a grain of salt. All right? Hake is wrong sometimes. You're wrong sometimes. And it's no big deal. By that cloud in the sun? Oh, I'm yapping in this. I don't think that's too bad. So, yeah, this is for entertainment and general information. Am I not live on pilled.net? Let me check. Oh, here we go. Now I'm there. I see it. What's up, Coffee Talk with Sandra? Over there on pilled.net. Hey, Jim in Alaska, presumably, right? Oh, yeah, if you're allowed to travel with that stuff, I wouldn't mind it. Jim in Alaska. Yes, please, bring smoked salmon meats and cheeses. We haven't built up the courage yet. The only thing we haven't opened yet, or built up the courage to open yet, are those canned things. I'm giving a little conversation to Jim in Alaska. Those canned things, I personally have been traumatized by canned tuna because it just seems gross. Tuna seems gross to me. Although I do like barbecued albacore. I had that once, 20 years ago. But maybe we'll open it. We got it. I'll have to have somebody with a strong stomach open it, and then I'm sure it'll be delicious. But everything else, we dusted it off, referring to a birthday present that the office and I enjoyed from over a month ago. Very cool. Hello, Age of Inversion, Jules Verne, T. Flying Monkey, which is not what its name is. Buddy 1205, thank you, Pastor Chatelet, raiding the stream. Good. Hake stealing Anchor Baby's style now, says Dexter's. Yeah, you have to. I don't know what you're referring to, but for example, I did steal this. The shout outs to the people in the live chat. I'm like, wow, that's so personable. And it's mildly entertaining. So nice. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. You get you some of that pickled herring, Hake. R emoji. Yeah, it's kind of like memes. You are meant to steal memes, okay? It is your duty to steal memes. That in itself is a meme that I've stolen and repeated. But memes are meant to share and steal. All right? I wish the music industry people and copyright protectors had a similar sharing mindset. Some of them do. Others do not. But I guess it's their right. It is their copyright. All right, so I will read your super chats if you'd like to super chat. Some may have come in already. Let me see here. If I click back and I go to here. 1, 2. Should I just go with it? Yeah, let's get on with the show. 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Hey guys! So, how you guys doing? I'm fine. And yes, I did steal that tonight from Bill O'Reilly. Okay. Oh, yeah. Robert in Kansas, you are banned. Sorry, man. I can't take your call. I appreciate you, man. Shout out, sir. Definitely wish you well, man. We've had a long history. It is written, and it is leave history in history. Appreciate it. Very kind sir. He is a graduate, Robert in Kansas. One of the favorite callers of some of you guys' favorite callers. I must, it is my solemn duty to let him go. And let my salute be just. Appreciate you, Robert. I have to let you go. No more Robert in my chat or in my phones. And I recommend he be banned from all things JLP, actually. And I'm the big man in the JLP crew. Oh, Lord, what a mess. He went kind of mask off, nasty. And you might have been, fooling around. I totally get it. I totally get it. And he loves me, and I love him, and we must say goodbye. Sometimes love is giving it a rest. As Big Bear might say, you're banned for life. But it's just this life, okay? In the kingdom of heaven, will you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Something like that. So, 07s for Robert. Beautiful Robert. Giving me some good advice over the years. I definitely appreciate that. Like physical training back, beta back stuff. Nice. 07 Robert. Hey, you guys. Do you like... somebody in the chat was... Moving on. Somebody in the chat was saying I always look like a tourist. House cat Hake. Robert once called me. That's true. First Joe, now Robert. What is going on? I know, it's terrible, Gregatron. It hurts Hake more than it hurts you. Like those, like the parents say, this hurts me more than it hurts you. And the kid's like, yeah, right. Oh, that stings. But yeah, I'm wearing my Nevada shirt. I thought it's actually fitting, I've considered. not only does it fit me okay, for a medium, you know, I suppose. And even though I'm a grown man and 44, it looks sort of country and western, right? Nevada, that's somewhat out west. Joe was banned finally. What did he do? You know what? Let me tell you a little super chat that I had saved about beautiful Joe. These are men's history moments, I suppose you might call it. Bigg Bump said, Commie Joe sounds just like a woman, literally. Commie Joe in his final amicable ban call that in which I let him know that he was banned, because he was banned before he knew it. There are still generations of people, older people, who were born and bred and marinated in it, says Bigg Bump, quoting Oprah, in that prejudice and racism, and they just have to die, said Oprah, or die out, or whatever Oprah said. You know Oprah Winfrey? She's like, are you kidding me? Obama was subject to racism. Remember when that guy, Joe Wilson, the congressman, rightly interrupted Obama's speech and said, you lie? Implying that was racism. Oprah. But Joe Wilson was right, because Obama had just claimed that the illegal aliens, the illegals, beautiful illegals, shout out, some not so beautiful, mildly attractive, and mildly repulsive. They do get Obamacare in many places. Joe Wilson, that's according to Breitbart, which, you know, Wikipedia has said, oh, they're not a reliable source and they've been wrong and stuff like that. Well, I don't know what their track record is compared to the New York Slimes or CNN or MSLSD or others. Or I forget what, MS Now is what they're calling themselves now. But Breitbart reported that there are cases in which beautiful illegals, I'll call them, just to soften it, they do get Obamacare. So what? You're called racist for telling the truth. Obama did lie. And I think that was like at a State of the Union address, and it was a little, you could call it a little out of order for a man to shout and heckle the evil president, the lying evil president. Hake says with animus towards Obama. But yeah, just like a woman. Commie Joe, a black Republican, typical black Republican, a rhino communist, liberal. So that's, thank you, Bigg Bump. Yeah, Joe wanted to take down the show, so he's a threat to the show. He had no goodwill for the show, really. I mean, he might have had good intentions, like he was trying to help me, like a mama. But good intentions are evil. As you may know, Mark called Hake a secret Obama supporter. Yeah, he did. So that's the little men's history hero Joe. Don't you know? Thank you, Bigg Bump. That was in a Commie Joe. Shout out, Bigg Bump. Joe like Oprah. Because he was referring to somebody, like he hopes he dies or something like that. I forget what it was. I forget whom Joe hoped would die. That's a terrible hope. Does he think he's like King David? Because I feel like King David might have hoped for the passing of his enemies. Called a snake. He wore it like a badge of honor because, let me grab my snake. Don't take that the wrong way, kids and childish people. Commie Joe loved to be a snake, right? My snake puppet. Thank you, Carver. I miss you, Joe. I miss you too, Hake. Hope you'll unban me someday. Joe said, you know who else was a snake? Was called a snake? Martin Luther, the guy who did the Protestant Reformation. Hake. Right on, Joe. Wishing you well from the other side of the fence. Ban. Good fences make good neighbors. Love your neighbor. We love Joe. If we love anybody. And Robert. Martin Luther. What do you Catholics think of Martin Luther? Was he a snake? Or Anglicans? Or whatever? Martin Luther was German, was he? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, doesn't matter. Nice. Haven't pulled out the serpent in a while. All right. So, happy Men's History Month, everybody. To all. It's for everybody. Obama is not banned from the Hake Report, actually. Walking Roscoe, I will have you know. All right. Martin Luther was awesome, Hake, says the dude FX. But Martin Luther King and his son, really Michael Luther, or Michael King and his son, switched to Martin Luther King and his son. They, according to our greatest resident black historian, or maybe resident researcher who has called into the Hake Report, Chad O. Jackson. They were no good. Very nice. Okay, that's enough banter about that mess. Okay. So let's get started, shall we? What do I want to do? What's up, Creighton? Who the HE double toothpicks is Robert? Whatever, Creighton. All right. Yeah, Age of Inversion. Good description. Hello to the Rumble crew. Okay, so let's get to Jermaine in Canada, who's on the line here. Jermaine, thank you for calling and holding, man. You're live. Are you there?
Hey, Hake.
Hey.
Hey, how are you, man?
Doing fine. How about you?
Nice. I'm doing good. I'm doing well today.
Sweet.
Not Robert. What the?
It happens sometimes. It's no big
Robert
deal.
Is Robert the guy that calls in and he'll curse and stuff?
Yeah, he can't help but cuss sometimes, frequently, because he gets passionate, and that's not good to be.
Yeah, if only. But yeah. Besides that, I'm calling about the COVID. There's a new development for COVID vaccine here in Canada. That's crazy.
There's a new what?
COVID vaccine development.
As in a new version, an updated booster shot type of a thing, or an updated vaccine, or a new rule or law.
No, they're making it more like a spray type, like aerosol kind of inhale, which is crazy.
Because people don't like shots, so they'll take the nasal spray or the spritzer or something.
Yeah.
Get your COVID spritzer from Canada. That's scary, because what if it's something that's not really good for you individually, specifically, to your individual specific body, you know?
Yeah, I remember when it was COVID time and they were using the old people as like a guilt trip to get you to take it.
Yeah, totally.
They're like, do it for the old people. I'm like, they'll live long enough. I'm not dying for them.
Right. Yeah. Just keep a respectable distance from the older people. You know, there's people there. I noticed that a lot of people from certain Hispanic countries really do not have the same sense of personal space as other people from normal countries have. In fact, I believe, well, there's one person in particular whom I'm thinking of, who said that he was told, get back, and then he finally realized, oh, I get inside people's personal space. And that's what they call social distancing, right? You're supposed to stay outside of not get in people's space unless it's in a loud environment and crowded and you have to in order to be heard. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, the cultures are different, I would say. That's true.
Yeah, and so and just have some common decency, and that will keep the old people healthier.
Yeah.
You don't have to get schmaxinated in order to. That's not the only way to protect the older people. It's honestly ridiculous, I say.
Yeah, because it was a post I saw, right? So I'm like, is this true? So I went on the website, and I was reading their website. I'm like, and the post claimed that it was funded by Bill Gates and Melinda Gates or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
But the investigation couldn't find any funding behind it from them. And they were saying that the post said it's going to be, because it's a spray. You inhale it now. So the post was claiming that they're going to use what do you call it? A crop, monocrop or something like that. Like a drone kind of.
Okay.
Where they use it to spray the air and you inhale it without consent. And I was like, is this really a thing? So I had to go on their site.
Are they going to spray it from the helicopters like they did with the? I remember in the early '90s or late '80s or mid '90s even. I feel like there were helicopters overhead in the LA suburbs that were dropping stuff that killed weeds or bugs or something. They sprayed for, I don't know, something.
Yeah, they claim that they're not going to do that, but they're evil people. You can't trust them,
I know.
Right?
It's crazy.
So I'm like, I just went on the website just to confirm, but they are.
Is it a nasal spray though? I
think they have nasal already. This one is more like a spray in the mouth kind of thing, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what the website is saying.
Okay.
And I'm like, so if they're developing that, there's nothing really stopping them from born in it, like, sprayed from a helicopter or from a drone or something.
Yeah.
Because they're ambitious, and I'm like, you already know what ambitious people will do just to get what they want to accomplish in life.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's kind of crazy though, right? So I'm like, I need to figure out a mask or something. I don't know if I'm in the imagination, but I'm like, they're evil people, so I should probably get ready for this. You never know.
March 2025, there's an inhaled COVID vaccine begins recruitment for phase 2 trial.
Yeah.
Respiratory therapy. Researchers at McMaster University have started a phase 2 clinical trial in a next-generation inhaled COVID-19 vaccine, AeroVax study. $8 million in funding from the Canadian Institutes of Health Research will test needle-free vaccines. The needles are a drawback. A lot of people don't like needles, and they'd rather not get a shot. So, to provide protection from SARS-CoV-2. Do you know anything about health? In terms of like medical type of health?
That's a good question.
You just know about general health and fitness, huh?
So I was told as a kid growing up not to. Doctors are something we kind of stay away from, right?
That's where the doctor's office is where you go to get sick because there's germs at the doctor's office. Sick people go there. and you get their germs. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Or
I
doctors
mean,
are not trustworthy in your culture or
the
upbringing?
last, they're not trustworthy, man. The last time I went to a doctor, the guy was on his iPad Googling what he should do. And I'm like, that's kind of crazy.
So he's like an anchor baby doctor. Anchor baby Googling. What do I do? Hey, chat, Google this.
No. No, the doctor was doing this.
Right.
And I'm like, I could have done that. I'm like,
Right.
what the? So when growing up, we more rely on remedy. And like, if you have a common cold, like stuff like that, we have remedy because I'm Jamaican, right?
Yeah.
So I was growing up to make remedy to heal myself or to fix myself, I guess.
Okay.
But certain things you have to maybe check out the doctor for, get a general idea of what's happening. But the guy's Googling it. I'm like, I can do that.
Right on, man.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like Jesse was saying, like, these doctors, he doesn't trust them, and I understand why, because they just want to throw stuff in you without knowing anything, pretty much. So I don't get it. I try to stay away from the doctor. Eat healthy, and
Yeah.
that's about it.
Okay. Well, the reason I asked is because I've heard, I thought, I was left with the impression that the virus is not as strong. The current strains of the virus, maybe some of them are stronger, but the virus evolves, right? Evolution of the virus. And I thought that the worst versions of the virus died out already, for the most part, at least, and that the newer strains that are spreading around are not necessarily as bad, but sometimes they are really bad. So I don't know. You know how the flu is a different strain of the flu every season, at least the dominant ones, and then there's other versions of the flu that some people might get. So I don't know. Just mildly interesting. Just wondering.
I've heard from a lot of people that they get flu shot every year, but they still get sick, right? And most people that don't take the flu shot, they might get sick, but then they don't get the flu for the next 3 or 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
Because apparently you're supposed to just let it happen naturally and your body will adjust to it. You get the cold and you develop antibodies and stuff in your bodies like that.
Yeah.
And then it'll figure itself out. But I don't know. I'm not a doctor, right?
Well, I know for me, as Maze has rightly pointed out, I seem to get sick more than anybody around here. And I think, and JLP doesn't seem to get sick hardly ever at all. And there's other people who don't seem to get sick, and other people do. And I think that it might have more to do with their own habits, sleep and rest and stuff like that, going out, things like that. So exercise, sleep, rest. I don't know. I don't think there may be some genetics. I don't know. Jesse asked me if I was a sickly child. I don't think so. I would sometimes get sick, probably every year, but I think it's just more of the stress that you put your body through the way that you eat, the way that you sleep or don't sleep enough at the right consistent times, the way that you exercise and get sunshine and stuff like that. And I don't know. I feel like it's stuff like that, or the way you go around different places that may have germs, or if you're careless about washing your hands. Trump too. He's very strict about not letting people sneeze in the same room with him and washing his hands and stuff like that. They called him a germaphobe or something like that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think what you're doing today, that could have a part to do with it, but like JLP grew up in the old days where they get food from the earth. And that's kind of how I was growing up when I was in Jamaica. You plant your stuff and you reap it yourself and stuff like that. So I think that as a young person, when you're growing up, if you get like earthly food, it does probably make your body stronger the older you get.
Yeah.
Right? Because now stuff are just diluted and crazy.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting, man. Well, thank you for your call, Jermaine in Canada. Watch out
All
for
right, Nick.
the spray schmacks.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look for a mask or something now.
Yeah, a mask to protect you from the vax. All right, man. Take care.
All right, man. All right, you too. Bye.
Bye. William, the third in California. How you doing, William the third?
What's cracking?
Hey, good to hear from you.
You too. Hey, I was driving and I heard you guys talking about one of my inductees yesterday. We inducted him twice. George Patton. Well, you guys were talking about him. What about him?
That's right. Somebody echoed George S. Patton. That was, I think,
That's
Alan.
okay. That's okay.
Alan from Michigan re-inducted George S. Patton into the Men's History Hall of Fame after you'd done so.
That's fine.
And
he's a great man. He's a great man.
Indeed. That's what I hear. I don't know for myself, but that's cool. Much respect.
Yeah. I think you guys was talking about something like there was a conspiracy with his death. I think you asked me that too. I wasn't sure when I answered you. I wasn't sure, but I have heard that myself too.
Yeah. I don't personally buy into it at all, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea. And then on top of that, he could have actually reshaped the game if he would have just been, turned loose on the Reds. I think he even said it. He said, "Well, we just finish the job."
Yeah,
finish the job and get them too. But it kind of makes you think about it. I don't like those conspiracy theories too much, but it kind of makes you think about what if he would have lived.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Right, because right after that we had the Korean War.
Oh wow.
And then Vietnam, then Afghanistan.
Was that war totally misguided?
Which one? The Korean War?
Korea, yeah.
Well, they were threatening the South, and I even
South
think
South Korea.
Yeah, South Korea. I think they actually was in South Korea, and they had to drive them back. And
oh wow,
that war is still not over. It's still technically never had an end. We had World War II, Korea, then you turn around, you had Vietnam, and the Reds helped them. And then we had Afghanistan, and we helped them. You see the cycle.
Right. I'm laughing at Google AI because I asked far left extremist Google AI, was the Korean War any good? And they said, no, it was not a good war. It was brutal and devastating. But that's what wars are. What the heck?
Are devastating, period. Yeah. I mean, what do you expect the war to be?
Right. It prevented the communist takeover of South Korea. All right? So
right.
South Korea, is it good to have South Korea? I don't know. I like the Koreans, sort of, I suppose. They're kind of degenerate, but hey, who's not?
Yeah. Yeah.
What a mess.
Hey, let me give you a couple of inductees.
Okay.
Let's go with Morgan Freeman.
Hey, all right. The black dude, God. God's voice.
The one that said, "Why do we have Black History Month?"
Nice.
You remember that interview he had?
Vaguely. Is he the one who's? That's the same. Is that the same time when he said how to end the racism mess? Stop talking about it.
Yeah. He said, "Well, what do you think of Black History Month?" He said, "What about it? Why do we have it? Why do we have to acknowledge something that's just there? It's just history. It's just there,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretty stand-up guy. I like Morgan Freeman. I like Morgan Freeman. I like his work.
Yeah,
and
me
that's
too.
what I usually call it. I call in about his work. I mean, if you can find some scandal, which there is, I know what it is, but I don't want to mention it. But,
good. I'm glad that you're not, because I don't know about it. I only know that he was kind of, into the very pro-black and liberal, but hey, you cut people slack for that, for whatever they're into.
He's liberal. I think he's borderline.
Yeah, because he's old school. He was in,
Like Denzel.
Lean
kinda
on Me? Was
borderline.
he on Lean on Me? Was that his movie?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
I
he
didn't.
was.
I didn't. I watched it again recently, and I was like, "That's Morgan Freeman." I never knew.
It's Morgan
That was
Freeman,
when he was
yeah.
young, quite young.
Younger. Yeah. And my second one, I want to say, I did Dick Clark, so let's go ahead and do Don Cornelius.
Don.
A Soul Train.
All right. Nice. Interesting. So he was the Soul Train host or something? Or are you saying Soul Train? Donald Cornelius was an American show host, producer, widely known as the creator of Soul Train, the nationally syndicated dance and music show, which is an amusing show. I played it. He hosted it.
You looked at it.
I did. I was like, whoa, this is funny. And it's, you know, I don't know what years, if it was replays or what.
You
but
know what's funny?
Yeah.
Every year, all of those dancers came from Fairfax High School, Crenshaw High School, George Washington, all of them, Centennial, all of those Southern California high schools is where all those dancers came from.
Wow. Look at that afro on him. He's young there. That's funny.
Yeah, it looked nice then, but then you got this, who is this dude with this white afro? He is a goofball. He's a lefty, real extremist, and he's got a big white afro.
Elie Mystal. He was on the JLP show a couple of times, actually. I'm Facebook friends with him.
If you weren't there, stop it.
Yeah.
If you weren't there. If you don't have to do that, come on, man.
Elie Mystal. He's a black father. He's a father, actually. See, I knew him when he looked like this. I'm showing the view of when he had.
I got
a nice.
you on pause. I can't see it.
No, don't worry about it. You'll see it later.
I don't want the feedback.
At one point, he was a short-haired, portly black guy with glasses, lawyer type of guy, and now
he
he's
had to
just
prove something.
looks ridiculous. He's a father. Well, I mentioned
how do you think? Did you ever think about how guys my age that actually wore that stuff? You ever think about what we think about when we see that?
I think that you guys think that he's a clown, which he looks like one. Shout out.
Yeah, he does. Please. All of them with their little afros. All of them running around with their afros, and like that other stupid guy that looks like a dummy. That other one, little skinny one, he is ridiculous too. I think he's in Tennessee or something. He's ridiculous.
Toure or somebody?
I forgot who it is, but let's leave them guys alone. Leave them alone. Let's get back
There's
to
that.
trip.
Remember that guy who played for the 49ers who kneeled, or he sat for the anthem and he started kneeling?
Man,
that guy looks
let me
ridiculous.
Tell you about that. Kaepernick?
Yeah, Kaepernick. His afro looks dumb, too. You see, he looks so much better with the short hair. He looks like my former co-host and our former Punchy TV co-host guy.
Can I give you a snippet?
All right.
I'll give you a snippet. Okay, so you know what the Black Panther started? It was San Francisco and Oakland. Okay. And my best friend, the man is dead now, but he just did not like his father at all, because his father was like I think he's in the top 5 as far as the leaders of the party. And so he goes, man, my father was a Black Panther and all that. I'm like, there's books about him and everything. And I'm like, dude, aren't you proud of that? He goes, no. I'm like, that's strange. He says, I'm not proud of him, of that, because it didn't end up being a good thing, first. And second, when they all hightailed it out of the country and went to France and North Korea and Africa and Cuba, when J. Edgar Hoover went after them in the early 70s, they jumped ship, and in the process, his mother had to raise him and his sister by herself. So he had a different outlook on it, and he was also a son of one. So he did. Yeah, I thought he should be proud of his dad, but he's not. He says, man, I gave my sister the book rights. I don't want nothing to do with it. And some people, they just want to live a private life because, like you said, if you go public with your life, your privacy is gone.
Yeah,
forever.
you invite attention and scrutiny,
Yeah.
much of it unwanted.
Yeah. So let's not discriminate. I've got two blacks right there, but let's go ahead and give my third and final to Scott Eastwood.
Okay. I recognize this name.
American actor.
The son.
Yeah.
The one who looks just like his daddy.
Yeah.
He looks just like his father, Clint Eastwood.
Look at his work. That dude's got just as many movies as his dad.
Really?
He's working. Yeah.
Scott.
Born in 86. I think he might be around your age, probably. He's still a young man.
Yeah, he's 39 years old. Right on.
Like Jack Benny. Jack Benny said he was 39 every year until he died. 39.
That's funny.
39. Yeah. Scott Eastwood. Yeah. Good actor. If you look at some of the movies he's been in, he's been some pretty good movies.
Right
I think he was even in Gran Torino with his dad.
I didn't know he was in Fury. He was in Fury?
Yep, he was.
Wow, that was a great movie. Shout out to, he was in Gran Torino. Yep.
Gran Torino, that's a car. Yeah, that's Ford Gran Torino, yeah. He was in that. He was in a whole bunch of good movies. If you look at his bio, it's a long list of good movies. It kind of surprised me when I looked at it. I said,
I never knew.
Been kind of busy.
I'd heard of him, only really in passing. But good for him, man. That's cool. Happy Men's History Month to
Happy Men's History Month.
Son.
Clint's son, Scott Eastwood. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, let's get to the news, the Hake news, the real news.
Okay.
So, Trump has a bandana against these black girls, don't he? Let's see. Who's that? Lisa? She's fired.
Right. I have pictures of this gal. Lisa, what's that gal's name?
Is it Cook?
Yeah, Lisa Cook. This black woman, she wants, look at the face on her.
He becomes the first president.
Is this her natural? This might be her real hair, by the way. I think it
what
is.
Department? It is. What department was she in?
She was the so-called governess, I call it governess, of the Fed. So she worked with this Jerome Powell guy, and all of the headlines are, look at this attitude just bleeding through. Lisa, I had no idea that she was, Lisa Cook, I had no idea that it was not a white woman.
It was, she black.
Yeah, here she is, she's just with her black woman folded arms, shout out.
Yep.
Towering over little Jerome Powell, making him look like a little skinny old white man, which he is.
Oh, you white boys!
And so
Trump is, girls.
Yeah, totally. And then Trump is firing her. Let's see, where am I?
She's gone.
But she's not leaving.
She thinks she ain't leaving.
Right? Yeah, she's trying not to leave. She's like, he doesn't have the authority.
She can put a show on if she wants to. But I don't think any of them are doing too good, actually, because I think Al Green and Jasmine Crockett, I don't think it's good for them either. They're kind of pissed off, excuse the language, but they're not doing good. Tiffany Henyard out in Illinois, Karen Bass in Los Angeles, Fonnie Willis.
Yep.
They're all falling. They just fallen. They're just like, I seen the hearing for the Texas House, and you just have seen all those black women, those old black women sitting up there putting on a show. And do you think this is from racism?
So self-important, huh?
The guy said, no. Next.
Yeah.
No. But they're falling off by the waist. I noticed.
She ought to govern herself rather than try to govern the Fed. Please.
Well, with Crockett and Al Green, I would think that they have that coming. They had that coming. Because he really acted a fool.
Right.
When they addressed the nation that night, he was acting like a fool.
Oh, yeah, Al Green, all shouting and making a scene, had to be dragged out, right? Are you talking about that thing? State of the Union or something like that? I don't know.
Wolfman, yeah, get out of there and then take that cane and throw it in a garbage bin somewhere. Yeah, it's been long overdue for him too. He's been around too doggone long.
Yeah.
And Jasmine Crockett, she's been around no time, but she's been there too long too. So
Totally.
I understand that they're both not very happy with the results of the redistricting, and California wants to illegally do it, but they're trying to give Gavin advice on this and saying, look, you don't want to do this because they have more states than we do. You do this to California, who has the most electorals. You do this to California, they're going to turn around and do every state that's red and redistrict everything. And then we'll be losing more than 6 seats. We'll be losing a whole bunch of seats. So they, Texas, the difference in the two, Texas did it legally. Gavin wants to do it illegally against the California Constitution. And,
I wasn't aware of. I hadn't heard that. I don't know. But
I heard
interesting.
Steve Garvey say something about the fits that the Democrats are having right now. He said, "Won't you?" He said, they had a town meeting or something a while back. He goes, "Well, why don't you Democrats go ahead and take that money that you've been giving to the illegals for the last 20 or 30 years and take it and give it to your own citizens who are sitting on the curb in Los Angeles?"
Crazy, man. Hey, William, I appreciate your call. I got to run. Take care. You too.
Take care.
Nice.
All right.
Wow. A quick super chat or two, guys, if you don't mind. Shout out to these men's history heroes and zeros. I was showing you guys San Gabriel, which is the birthplace of Patton. That's just a city or two over from where I was born and raised, or a few cities over. I was born and raised in SGV 626, San Gabriel Valley. Used to be 818. Cesar Q 3 coffees sup. Hake, so after Lil Nas X danced with the devil, metaphorically speaking, and sold satanic shoes, that also contained blood in the soles, purportedly, he suffered a partial facial paralysis. You mean like Justin Bieber got? Due to that, he wasn't able to perform for a while. Terrible. Now he suffered a mental breakdown, according to Cesar Q, most likely due to drugs, he speculates, I disclaim, and charged with 3 felony counts of battery with injury to an officer. Also, felony resisting an officer. What do you think, Hake? Is all this happening to him because he twerked on the devil literally in a music video? Or is it just coinkadink? He didn't say coinkadink. Coincidence. Big bug eyes emoji. Like that. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, it's kind of correlation. Those things all sort of go together. When you're out of control like that, you're gonna do out of control things. One didn't cause the other. It was the root cause was the evil heart that consumes him, that caused both of those things. So dancing with the devil and all that, it's just a meaningless symptom, along with the meaningless symptom of hitting the cop and losing your mind. He'd already lost his mind, in his heart. And so I think that's, without even knowing the situation, that's what I would say. Just knowing how people are, how I am, how a person gets. It's not because of something that God struck you down, necessarily. I think it's more has to do with the root. It's much deeper. Another question, are you able to say why Joe from Phoenix got banned? Yeah, I mean, he just literally wants to take the show down, so he wants to take Jesse down, he wants to take me down, and he's just like devilish, He justifies the tearing down of your friend and mine, my competitor, Alex Jones. He justifies that. That is a dangerous warning. It's like a flat earther. If flat earthers believe stuff without any proof and just speculate, they'll just believe anything and go with it. Terrible. Sick. And shout out to the flat earthers. They're certainly not the only ones. Everybody does it. One more question. When is the next Mark versus Ronnie debate happening? I don't schedule those. Led by the spirit. I guess I'm just full of questions today, smiling with closed eyes or Asian eyes or something. Have a great show today, man. Strong arm, celebration hands, thumbs up, all tan. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your support as always and your input. Very nice. Let me double check over on these other platforms. What's up, Creighton Jules, Buddy 1205, Takcho. Cool name. I always liked Takcho's name. Simple, short, cool to pronounce. It's kind of like the word escape. As a kid, I thought escape sounded more sophisticated than escape. But escape is correct. But I thought escape might be also correct. But Takcho is correct and cool. Channel volume is always quiet compared to any other channel, alleges Jules Verne. Huh. Jules Verne 23, that is. Really? In the world? What a mess. I don't know. He was on for years saying that, careful, Hake, or you will be banned. Or even not just banned, but taken to court and stuff like that. True, Hake always low, says Nugget Man. It is true, Hake, turn it up, says Erison. I told you last week, Hake, says Nugget Man. I know, and I told Bill and what's his name? Turn on your hearing aid, Jules. I told Bill and Nick, and they don't believe me. They're like, one person, two people. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm kidding. They didn't do that. But, yeah, they turned up the main. Maybe I just need to stay close to the mic. How's this? All like blasting into the red, way up into the red. He always did, though, says Nigrodamus. You mean it's always been? All of a sudden, it's a problem. He always was quiet, says Nigrodamus. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Volume sounds fine, says Dexter's Lure Lab. I know it's been a question and concern of mine. I've cranked stuff sometimes too much. Okay, when I personally would make clips and things. You can hear it in some of those old archive clips that I did. I was just rattling, distorting, almost clipping the volume by cranking it for you guys because I like it to be good and loud and compared to others, and I just don't understand audio. We have an audio engineer. He's the producer. No, we didn't get any type of lawsuit, Nigrodamus. Stay out your mind. Nigrodamus. How do you pronounce that? This is important, okay, everybody? Nostradamus pronounce. Oh, boy. And I bet you it's going to tell me wrong. Real quick. What do I click to make it go?
Nostradamus.
What? Nostradamus. What?
Nostradamus.
Oh, Lord. Let's find the British pronunciation.
Nostradamus.
That's so much better. And I don't like English. I like you English people, but sometimes I feel you guys pronounce things hoity-toity and add extra vowels and different things. But in this case, I agree with you.
Nostradamus.
Nostradamus. Thank you. Nostradamus. Pff, be quiet. And why is it a woman's voice anyway?
Nostradamus.
Don't they know? Evil Google. I feel like that's so wrong. Let's go back. It just hurts me. I need to cleanse my palate.
Nostradamus.
Nostradamus. Nostradamus. 16th century French astrologer. Nugget Man, how do you pronounce it? Since you're French Canadian, right? Doxed. French astrologer, physician, and reputed seer, Michael de Nostradamus. Nostradamus means Our Lady in French. Oh, Lord, really? It makes sense, actually. I never realized that. Reference to the patron saint of the day of his family converted from Judaism to Catholicism in 1459 or 1460. Huh. Happy Men's History Month. You know, I actually have a little men's history hero for you guys. Newton. And then we'll get to your calls. There's one line open. Isaac Newton. I actually read about him as a kid. I was homeschooled in 3rd grade and 6th grade. Doxed. Look at him. Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton, or Christian Isaac Newton, Christian-based Trinity denier. Isaac Newton. Or Sir Isaac Newton. He's not American, okay? It's okay. He's Englishman. You know, he was born 1643, I guess, on roughly maybe the 25th of December or sometime. New style. Old style. Old style, 25th of December. New style would have been some other date. I don't know. To the 31st of March or the 20th of March, old style calendar. I'd never heard of this knowingly that I recall. In 1727. 1643 to 1727. How old is that? 84. That's not too bad of a life. He must have honored his parents that you may live long on the earth. He was an English polymath, whatever that is, or polyhistor, knowledge spanning many subjects of math, and mathematician, physicist, astronomer, alchemist, theologian, author, alchemy. Somebody called him the last of the magicians, not the first of the Enlightenment or whatever. Key figure in the scientific revolution and enlightenment that followed. His book, blah, 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 I don't care. Somebody said, and I didn't know this, I forget what made me think of this, but heliocentricity, in your face, space deniers, Earth-centric asserters. But he's a Christian. He is not NASA. He was not paid by NASA. He even predates NASA. Okay, let's see. He was a fellow of Trinity College, and yet he did not agree with the early church fathers because he thought for himself, so-called fathers. He went to Trinity College, and he was a fellow at Trinity College. That's more than just went to. He was a fellow. He was like in charge, large and in charge of certain portion of Trinity College, I think. He studied alchemy and biblical chronology, and it went unpublished until long after his death. So according to people who released his stuff, let's see, Trinity. Master of Trinity College, I think, right? Okay, if I go down, look at him. Look at this man. Isaac Newton. Chad. What a Chad. Even though he's clean shaven. People, the blacks, probably, the Hebrew Israelites, shout out, trying to say he was, look at that. It's William's telescope. William from the third, from NorCal, or California. It's a replica of his reflecting telescope that he presented to the Royal Society. Okay. Come on. Trinity. Yeah, here we go. Religious views. Although he was born into an Anglican family, He overcame it. By his 30s, Newton, Isaac Newton, from which we get fig Newtons, by the way, had developed unorthodox beliefs. Some so-called historian, Stephen Snobeline, keyword snob, but forgive me. That's not right. Snobeline, a so-called professor, labeled him a heretic. 1672, he started to record his theological researches in notebooks. He showed no one, and they've only been available to the public's examination since 1972, years and years, hundreds of years after his passing. Over half of what he wrote concerned theology and alchemy, most never printed. Extensive knowledge of the early church texts he sided with Arius, who rejected conventional view of the Trinity. They claim that he sided with them, right? I don't know if that's true. And the Arius was a losing party in the conflict with Athanasius over the creed. Newton recognized Christ as a divine mediator between God and man who was subordinate to the Father who created him, according to some quote about him, all right? I guess. Because this doesn't say what this quote is referencing. He was especially interested in prophecy, but for him the great apostasy was Trinitarianism. Wow. He unsuccessfully tried to obtain two fellowships, blah, 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 blah. Worshipping Jesus Christ as God was in Newton's eyes idolatry. He believed it to be the fundamental sin. Wow. In 1999, this Snobeline guy wrote, hundreds of years later, Isaac Newton was a heretic, but he never made public declaration of his private faith, which the Orthodox would have deemed extremely radical. He hid his faith so well, scholars still unraveling his personal beliefs. Snobeline. Pardon me, Mr. Snobeline. He's in his 70s. He's alive today, I believe. Concludes that Newton, he basically built his career on smearing this guy. Okay, it might not be smearing. Pardon me, Snobeline. Let me not smear you for criticizing Newton, you critic. At least as a Socinian, whatever that is, sympathizer. He owned and had thoroughly read at least 8 Socinian, whatever, books, possibly an Arian and almost certainly anti-Trinitarian. So they're, whatever. So it's not clear, they're saying almost certainly anti-Trinitarian. So they don't really know what he believes. They're just reading stuff and maybe reading into what he said and all kinds of stuff. But I found it interesting. Although laws of motion and universal gravitation became Newton's best-known discoveries, he warned against using them to view the universe as a mere machine, as if akin to a great clock. He said, so then, gravity may put the planets into motion, but without the divine power, it could never put them into a circulating motion as they have about the sun, claimed he. I don't know. Who knows? Sort of interesting. Hey, he wrote works on textual criticism. Is this what Pastor Shadowley was talking about? Encouraging old, what's his name? Derek, the black producer, Trinitarian, Nazi coon, flat earther, JLP producer, to learn about? Very smart, very high IQ. He placed the crucifixion as 3rd of April, AD 33, which agrees with one traditionally accepted date. So Isaac Newton, pretty smart. Looks like he thought for himself, if there is such a thing. Much respect. Happy Men's History Month. Very nice. So there's your little men's history thingy. Coffee, Nostradamus, and Isaac Newton versus Trinity. They just want to make him out to be an atheist as hard as they can, alleges Doom Jesus. Yeah, they love doing that. Are you going to read all of this? Asks Jupiter. I was supposed to do a pig noise or a hog noise for Jupiter. Where's Isaac at now? No, there's no at necessary. Isaac is in heaven or somewhere. The lines are full, guys. Thank you for bearing with me. We're past the top of the hour. Mark in Los Angeles, California, is on the line here. What's up, Mark?
Yeah, happy Men's History Month.
Thank you. You too.
First of all, before I get into the question, the person that the guy from Phoenix put a Deathwish on was me, and he did it twice.
Yeah.
So just to answer if anybody's curious to who that was.
Yeah.
Also, he basically what it is, when they can't win the argument or if they can't get you banned off the air, whatever, they want you dead. I mean, this was evident that the left, which he represents, they're basically murdering savages. And I'm not just saying it because he's black. I mean, even Antifa, these people want to destroy and kill the white race.
Yeah, and as we all know, Antifa is not necessarily black. Usually not.
No.
Yep.
No, I call them trans-Tifa.
Yeah, they're disproportionately transgenders.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of evil, rotten people.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question. Yesterday's call from Sissy. What exactly was her question?
I don't think she really had a question. I think she just wanted to express that legal immigration is a problem as well, and we well agree and know that. I definitely agree, and it was but other than that, I may not have. I don't know.
Well, she was good. I just thought maybe I missed it. Okay, now the thing about for the call, when Trump moved the guard into D.C., it's obviously had good effects.
Yeah.
I hope and literally pray that President Trump's going to be able to bring the Army or the Guard to Chicago, Baltimore, and all these other black-run cities. He's already brought them to L.A., maybe to New York. Every one of these cities, I believe, has a black mayor. And you'll remember in past calls that I've said, in the 60s, those same cities were majority white, and they were safe. After the riots of the 60s, they became black-dominated. The black political machine took over, and here we are 50 years later with a decent, normal president seeing what destroyed our cities, and he's doing his best to try to stamp it out. But you've got political Democrat black mayors who are defending criminals. They don't want Trump's army there because they want the crime to continue. To their sick minds, it's a form of reparations. Anytime one of them robs you or me or any other white person in their sick, white-hating mind, that's their form of reparations. And they don't want the army to come in and stop this. They want it to continue on forever. Because the only constituents the Democrats really have are criminals and illegal aliens.
And their sympathizers, of course.
And who?
And their sympathizers, the mama.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
But still, first of all, in most places, I don't know, I'm sure Trump will take care of it, but most places illegals can't vote. I know they probably are voting, but their numbers are so small, it's really insignificant. But the Democrats are looking at the long game.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, illegals have been here for generations, and they've made many so-called Americans, many generations of so-called Americans, and the so-called American offspring of the illegals are worse than the illegals themselves.
Oh, by far.
Yep.
I mean, I would rather deport a DACA recipient than some illegal alien gardener.
Yeah.
Although they both need to go,
right.
The DACA recipient is far more poisoned and white-hating and communistic than the gardener could ever be.
Yeah.
They send these illegal kids to our schools. the schools indoctrinate them to hate whites, and those are the kind of people they're churning out and are eventually going to outvote us. And it's not just the Mexicans. Like I said yesterday, we have an Indian problem. I mean, these people are demons. And we've got other groups out there that are trying to hurt us, and even the ones that they call conservative. Well, that clown in Phoenix called himself conservative.
Yep.
So even the ones that are supposedly conservative, you can't trust them.
So true, man.
I mean, shout out to William. I don't necessarily mean him.
Right.
And also, I wanted to shout out to Alan for yesterday's call about Patton.
Yeah.
Alan is a genius. I don't know if he ever knew Carl Allen, but that might be somebody he might know from Chicago. But anyway, yeah, Alan was great. I thought his call was super yesterday. But like I was saying, the way these things happened is when the white man put his guard down in the 60s and let blacks burn our cities down and then move out. Most of the whites moved out of Chicago, for example, and Detroit. There was a mass exodus. There used to be a lot of Polish people and Eastern Europeans in Detroit. They're the ones that made that city what it was. Detroit historically was one of our greatest cities.
Well,
but we don't look at history anymore. We don't look at that kind of history.
Right.
Now it's been taken over by, blacks who can't govern, and it's falling apart, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the future is. I shudder at the thought of what life in the big cities or in the U.S. in general will be like in just 25 or 30 years. If present trends continue, I don't see any way out of this. I mean, Trump is doing what he can do. And the one good thing about Trump, he's making everyone aware of what we're facing and what we're up against. But I don't know. I mean, I love Trump, but let's face it. He picked some bad hombres in his first administration.
He did
talking
indeed.
About Pence, talking about Milley, Mad Dog, whatever,
Yep.
and Kelly. These were all backstabbing snakes.
Totally,
And
man.
what I'm afraid of in his second term, I mean, right now we all love Vance, and we all love most of his, I like really all of his cabinet. Scam Bondi, she wasn't supposed to be there in the first place, but, I'm afraid that some of his own people, once he leaves, may not carry out the MAGA agenda. I hope they do. I don't know if they will. And I have a question, and this is my last thing that I'm off. Nick Fuentes wants to know, what is the definition of anti-Semitism? Are you able to define those words? Because I can't.
It doesn't exist, but
Agreed.
I understand them to mean haters of Jews.
Well, wait a minute. Is it a hater of Jews?
Hating of Jews. Yeah.
Gotcha. But is it hating of Jews to deny the Holocaust, for example? Is it hating of Jews to say that most of the Hollywood 10, the communists that they exposed in the 50s, 9 out of 10 of them were Jews? Is this anti-Semitism?
Depends on the heart from which it comes. But I don't.
Well,
but
no.
it doesn't even. It's not even. They would call it that. Yes, they would call those things that. Yes, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I would call it. I would question the. I know that there's people who have hatred in their heart, who criticize Jews, and they hate everybody.
Is
Really?
Is it anti-Semitic to say that they put Jesus on the cross and crucified him?
I think
Is that anti-Semitic?
they would call it that. Yeah, I wouldn't. I would call it dumb, but they call it anti-Semitism.
Well, okay, then if you extend that argument, and I agree with you, but
Yeah.
if you extend their argument, every time a Negro's arrested for a legitimate crime, he could cry racism and we should let him go.
Right.
Because that's how these activist judges are doing.
Totally.
They believe that black people have a right to rob, rape, and kill because they were oppressed 100 years ago.
When you're
Not even.
when you're
Mhm.
picturing that word anti-Semitism, do you put a hyphen in it or no hyphen?
Well, the way I see it written, it's anti/Semitism.
With that little short dash thing, right?
Right.
And a capital S.
Well, I think so. But,
Yeah.
it's supposed to include
Nice.
Arabs, too.
Right.
Anti-Semitism.
Because they're they're descendants of Shem, Ham, and there's Shem, Ham, and Japheth, or Japheth, or whatever, and they're supposedly descendants of Shem. I hear.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that.
Me neither, really.
But I don't know. I think any time with blacks or Jews, anytime they're brought to justice, they're going to throw the anti-Semitic or racist card.
Yep.
Because that's all really that they've got to play. And lastly, I promise this is my last question. Have you ever heard of disparate justice? DISPARATE, disparate justice?
Disparate, yeah. I haven't heard of it, but I can picture what it might be.
Well, I'll give it a quick example, and I'll go. The Civil Rights Bill of '64 basically condemned and put a guilt trip on all whites for the so-called discrimination that blacks had been through up until that point. But the point is, only a fraction of white people owned slaves. Okay, only a fraction of white people were segregationists.
Yeah.
Yet, because of the Civil Rights Bill, all whites are feathered, or are tarred, I should say, as racist.
Yeah.
And all blacks, disparate justice, all blacks are victims.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the civil rights, one of the reasons the Civil Rights Bill was unconstitutional. I got that from Charlie Kirk, and it makes a lot of sense.
Based Charlie Kirk, equal justice under the law is not the case.
No.
Yeah.
No, remember, equality is nowhere to be found in the original Constitution. Even though Thomas Jefferson said what he said, he had slaves. And certainly equality is not mentioned in the Bible except Satan's version of equality.
Yeah.
So,
yep. That's
I'm
right.
just hoping people are catching on. I don't know if there's any hope for our race and our nation, even with Trump. I think he'll just be a temporary bump in the road. I hate to say that.
I know.
But I don't see anybody down the road coming up.
There's one guy I like, and you may not have him on your radar. Erik, with a K, Erik Prince. I like that guy.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, but you have heard of Blackwater. Back in the Obama days?
Yeah, Blackwater.
Military contractors.
Multi-billion-dollar group, okay.
Not to be confused with Black Rock.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's who I had him confused. No, I don't know Blackwater.
Yeah, Blackwater was under attack by Obama because they were independent military contractors. They were basically veterans who became pro-America kind of mercenary, I guess. I don't know. But they would be hired and do some jobs more efficiently and better than the American military in some cases, I guess. I don't know. But Erik Prince went on this show called a couple of years ago maybe, called the Sean Ryan Show. And I listened to that discussion, and he is so knowledgeable about what's going on in the federal government and the problems and stuff like that. I would love to see Erik Prince, and he seems bold. I don't know what he's like when confronted with blacks or women. I only saw him man to man with this my competitor Sean Ryan. But
is he a white Christian?
He's a white Christian man. His sister is Betsy DeVos, who was the education secretary under Trump first term.
I remember that.
And I don't know about Betsy DeVos, but Erik Prince, Erik Prince, seems like a solid guy, and he seems better than any of the other so-called contenders for Trump's succession. I don't know if he's even thinking of running, but he would be awesome.
How old of a guy is he?
He's probably in his 50s or maybe approaching 60s. If he's in his 60s, he's a young, fit 60s. You know how you say you don't drink or smoke and you and you exercise and eat right?
Right.
That's what he seems to do. I don't know. Because
I'm going to have to look him up. I'm going to look him up. Right now, my favorite's Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, I would love to see him as president. He's not even 35 yet, though.
No, but that's okay.
When the time comes, he may be ready. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't remember. I saw in the chat earlier that I called you an Obama supporter.
No.
I don't remember that.
That was
but
Joe
if I did, I was wrong.
No, I think it was. Oh yeah, you might have called me a secret Obama supporter.
I can't remember that. I don't know why I'd say that, but it's not true. I don't know if I said it, but I know it's not true. But the other thing, and I don't want to keep going on, but there's a guy that writes, and I'm not going to bother to say his name, but you know him. He's implying that because of my calls, you're not going to get monetized.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see that. Do you see that clown write that in the chat?
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay, it's KH are the initials of the guy writing it. I'm not going to give his name.
Oh.
But can you just clear up the fact that you were not monetized? I started calling about 3 years ago. You weren't monetized then, were you? 3 years ago?
I think I was demonetized well before that. Yep.
There you go. So basically, you could say that I have nothing to do with whether you get monetized or not, right?
Yeah, right. Although you do say kind of edgy things, and you hold back, I get and I appreciate. Even your I don't know, whatever.
I could tell you this: whatever I say will bring in more viewers than cut out viewers. I know that's not how they go. I don't think that's how they gauge it when they monetize or demonetize. But I could tell you that I'm sure I'll bring in more more listeners than are going to leave the show. Yeah. I just get that from the comments that I read. I mean, I got some dirtballs in there that talk negative about me, but most don't. And I think that's good for your show. And whether I don't, but you can state clearly that I didn't have anything to do with whether or not you're monetized, right?
Right. Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to get out. Thank you, Hake.
Take care.
Happy Men's History Month. Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow. Let's get to William, number 7, out of California here. William, thank you for calling and holding. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me all right?
I can. I can hear you fine. Thank you, sir.
Oh, excellent. Well, what a segue. I had a number of things running through me, my mind to talk about. And so since Mark just got off the phone, I've never I think I nominated Jesus a while ago.
Yeah, Jesus Christ for Men's History Month.
Yeah. I can't believe no one seconded that. But anyway, so this is going to cause all kinds. I'm not trying to cause a mess. But I remember that time when Obama was doing a State of the Union address or something like that.
Okay.
And that guy yelled.
Joe Wilson.
You lie.
Yep.
Remember that? Or that's a lie. I can't remember if it was that's a lie or you lie, but it's very short. And I remember he was like, no. So basically, I want to nominate Obama just in case we got it all wrong and they control what we know. Because I'm pretty sure God and Jesus is supposed to judge, right?
Let me pull this up. See if it works.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hold on. Okay, so
I can't remember if it was you lie.
I think it's you lie, according to far left ABC News.
There are also those who claim that our reform efforts would ensure illegal immigrants. This too is false. The reforms I'm proposing would not apply to those who are here illegally.
You lie. In your face.
It's not true.
You lie.
And one more.
That was crazy.
Misunderstanding I want to clear up. Under our plan, no federal dollars will be used to fund abortions, and federal conscience laws will remain in place. Now,
so phony Obama lied. Anyway, nice.
Well, the reason why I wanted to bring that up, anyway, first, that was a first in our political landscape that on television, dissension and chaos and mess. But that's what that was, everybody yelling and arguing. So that was a mess, and I don't think I remember that ever happening, me being an adult, being almost 60. I don't remember that being like that anymore. So what I can say is in 2006, I had a surgery, and I had insurance. It was good insurance because I worked at a casino that I will not dox. But I stayed, I think, 2 or 3 days and in the hospital, and my share was $600 or $800 or something like that with my insurance. And I was paying like, I don't know, $20, $30 a paycheck, which wasn't a lot. The only better insurance I ever had was the military, obviously, because it's free. But 10 years later, I had another surgery. So that was after Obama. So 2006. In 2016, I had an out-of-patient, same town, brand new, same hospital. I had a surgery, and I was in and out in like 2 hours. 2 hours. Guess what my share was on that surgery?
Way higher.
$13,000.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it was a hernia, you know.
That's ridiculous.
And so, so that's all I know. He may have said, so when that guy yelled out, that's a lie, I think he knew where the money was going to come from. In other words, the people who work every day and earn a living, they're going to have to pay more.
And it's going to go to support the illegals who are allowed to stay by Obama and let in by Obama and others in his ilk.
Because I remember them busting them in the cities. Remember that was covered by somebody, and then So
that's right. Remember the Murrieta protests, Murrieta, California.
Yep. And it was all over. There were many cities, inner cities. Yeah. And now they're fleeing. What is it? 20 years later, now they're fleeing and coming into my area, into my little small town. I see them. Anyway, so it'll be interesting. I know Obama promised something about no tax on overtime, and I get okay overtime.
Oh, Trump.
So I've always done my own taxes.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see at the end of the day am I going to be paying less taxes, or they might not have taxed overtime, but what if the tax rate goes up on my regular pay? Well, then it's a wash, and it does me no good. So although, you know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting to see how that happens.
Yeah.
How that washes out.
The tax
I'm not going to know
shenanigans.
until next year after I do my taxes.
Yep.
It's like I said, I do my own taxes, and I'm aware of all the the forms and the lines and what you can deduct and what not. And I just take the standard. I don't, you know what I mean? I just do standard deduction and standard exemption, and that comes to like almost $20,000 right there for a single California at least. So we'll have to see. We'll see how that goes.
Yep.
So next question for you, sir. Has anyone ever told you like someone famous?
Has anybody told me what? That
you look like somebody famous, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I've been told that.
To somebody famous.
Yeah, I've been told. So, the mailman said I've told this before. I'm so excited to say it. I've been told I look like who's the guy from Braveheart?
What about Joshua Jackson?
You're supposed to answer the question first.
Oh, who, me?
Yeah, the guy from Braveheart. I forget.
Mel Gibson. I don't remember that.
You don't know
You look like Mel Gibson?
Yeah, according to my parents, I was a 20-something-year-old. My parents' Asian mailman said you look like Mel Gibson. Nice.
Oh.
Anyway, so Joshua Jackson, huh?
So, did you watch the newest Karate Kid Legends that came out in theaters with Ralph Macchio?
Oh, I've heard of it. I haven't watched it, no, but I've heard about it. Yeah.
Well, I took the kid, and he wanted to see it, so we watched it, and I thought it was a very good movie. Well done. I liked it so much that, I don't know how many times they've done the Karate Kid, but they did some things that I did not see coming, which is good. I like a movie when I don't know what's coming, and I'm surprised. So I like that. But so it was the guy. It was the training coach. When I was watching that, I kept saying, "That's Hake, that's Hake," and I'm like, "But he's too old to be Hake." So I'm wondering, is that your dad? And I'm trying to figure out where I've seen him before. And he was in. It's the same guy that was in Fringe. And I don't know if you ever watched that.
I haven't.
Television show Fringe. Yeah, it was, it was on the fringe, so not everybody watched it. But I could not shake it. So, yeah, to me, that guy looks like he could be your dad.
Nice.
Joshua Jackson.
Okay, well.
So is he your dad?
Not that I'm aware of. No, I definitely look just like my real dad. So I am definitely my father's son. But
right on.
Yeah, maybe I'm unknowingly related to this guy, Joshua Jackson.
He could be through cousins and marriages and divorces. It's like
he could be.
Mess, right?
This man is 47 years old, man. He can't be my dad unless
then he's
he had
your
me.
long-lost brother.
Unless he had me when he was what, 3?
Okay, so then I changed the relation. It's either a cousin or a brother, something like that. He's a cousin.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Could definitely be a cousin.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was it. That was all I had. I just wanted to talk about.
Right on, man.
Oh,
that's fun.
And the anti-Semite thing. You know how we were talking about Mark also said, "Can you define anti-Semitism?"
Yeah.
So, from what I've looked into, when we're talking about a Jew, they're talking about the tribe of Judah, and it definitely has to do with religion, and it has to do with Mount Sinai when God gave how they should live and treat one another when he pulled them out of bondage, out of Egypt. Because, just so you know, no one forces anybody into slavery. You put yourself in slavery by either being lazy or you can't pay,
right?
And so you have a big debt, and that's the same thing because the credit cards do the same thing. So, because you live beyond your means, stuff like that. So the bankers get the money, but you sign those credit cards saying you'll pay with the interest. So you have really no one else to blame. You can't blame other people. So,
true.
And when I was overseas, there was, I saw things, and people had to pay off tabs, and it wasn't right out prostitution, but it was kind of connected. And basically, I just think you put yourself into slavery, and mainly because you're ignorant, you're young, you don't know. And hopefully, eventually, you realize that.
Yeah.
So I would say now a Semite is someone who maybe is like an atheist because the Jews claim God taught them and told us how to live, and that they were going to be a blessing to all nations, which would include ours. But when you turn away from the laws of God, like the Ten Commandments, but then Jesus came and said that I fulfilled the law, and I came to tell you what God said, who's invisible and we can't see. So to me, I know the scriptures talk about of Antichrist, which to me, that means against being there a God and being that he's invisible and spirit. And so that means we're against the spirit, we're against the laws of God. But to me, I would say Antichrist and anti-Semite might be synonymous, maybe. But there's so much more to it, So those are just thoughts. That's it. I know I said a lot, but I gotta get back to work, Hake.
Sounds good. Thank you, man.
I'm a working Hispanic.
Sweet.
I'll talk to you later, man.
All right. Bye.
Peace out.
Wow. There was some little point that somebody brought up. I wanted to read this. There are people who don't vote. Grown men who don't vote. Vote harder. And we can turn it around. Kidding around. But some of these people are like more supposedly on the right, more like conservative, sensible, have sensible values, intellectually sensible anyway. At times, they intellectually arrive at the sensible right versus wrong. And they're halfway decent people, I suppose, if you want to go speak in the common vernacular, even though everybody's evil. And they don't vote. I know some people who listen to my show, and they've called in and said that. But there is this notion about this selfish notion about voting. And I blame Reagan for it. Did Reagan say this? Is your life better than it was 4 years ago? Or whatever they say. It's dumb. I had a Spanish teacher who voted Democrat in high school. A male. He was male. A male, grown adult male Democrat. I'm like, why are you Democrat? I was a young man. I didn't know anything. I just knew that my parents were Republican. And he's like, well, and he looked, thinking back, a bit irritated at my pointed question. Why? The young, arrogant question. Didn't know better, really. And it's not, I don't even think it was necessarily wrong to be like, why are you Democrat? But he's like, well, because I'm not rich. Something like that. I'm not Republican because I'm not rich. Or a rich white man, or whatever he was. But he looked white to me. I don't know. I don't know if he said white. But not rich, and maybe he listed maybe one or two or three other things. I don't know. But I'm like, that's an odd thing. You don't vote for what's right because of your position in life, because you're not rich. So you base your voting on your position in life and your selfish things. I thought voting and being a Republican was about right and wrong. I get that being Republican. I'm looking at them now, and they're not about right and wrong. They're about selfishness and politics and phoniness and pretending to be about what's right, and they're not. Pushovers. As Mark described Trump very, very, very well just earlier this show, an hour ago, whenever that was, that he called in. Described him as normal, regular, something like that. Normal, regular guy. Normal guy. Something like that. It was really good. Check it out. I would go back, but I don't have the transcript yet. Well, I will have the transcript later. And I'm like, that's so true. He's just a normal person. Regular, not as in regular, in this mindset. Normal person. Meaning just right, what's right. And then you have to go with what's politically doable, because the politically means what the people will agree to. The suckers. If you can get the suckers to be suckers for truth, then you can do what's right. But this improving my life mindset about voting, that's not what it's about. The country's gone when it's about that. Because if everybody has that mindset, they're going to be voting Democrat because there'll be suckers for selfishness and not about what's right. Voting should be based on right and wrong. Your voting. That's what politics is supposed to be about, right and wrong. Anyway, so that's just a side note. How can you be a conservative, so-called, or whatever? Because conservatives are about what right and wrong, right? I think. And then you vote based on self-interest. You're basically admitting to being a liberal. There's a point where there's self-preservation. Of course. I get that. Hake, it's been like 50 minutes, says Latin A. Nice. I gotta get to Justin. I wasn't able to get to Justin earlier. Justin, happy Men's History Month to you in SoCal, Southern California.
Thanks for taking my call, Hake.
Always,
it.
Of course.
Men's History Month to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so...
come close to your phone. It's sounding kind of muffled or something.
Oh, hear me better now?
Maybe so, yeah. Go for it.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say a comment here. Since you're talking about Democrats and voting, and we live in California, I would say that the devil is a Democrat.
Yeah. Why do you say
and
that?
It's actually there's a popular song going around by Tom McDonald called The Devil is a Democrat.
Oh.
You gotta check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll know more about that after you see the lyrics. But yeah, and I appreciate you on your punchy last show there, your last broadcast. Not too much doxing me, but yeah, I appreciate your comment about the amusement parks. That
Yeah.
can get kind of wild out here in SoCal, not Sperry Farm specifically.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out. You left an impression when you told me about your story with your wife and the fight in the amusement park, the theme park. Terrible. What a mess.
Yeah. I got tousled around a little bit. Didn't know what I was getting into. But yeah, I definitely. I'm surprised that you still remember that. Yeah, that's cool. Why do you still remember that so much?
Because it turned into a discussion and it lasted a few days, and it's just it's a relatable situation because sometimes things happen around you, and it can involve you a little bit, and it can pull you in or not pull you in, and you got to look out for your wife, I guess, if you have one. I'm laughing because of the way that I question the looking out for your wife. Shout out to ditching your wife.
It's the least you can do. You know, especially if she's the woman,
right?
The wife, but if she's the woman that, you know, gave birth to your children, she's kind of important. Yeah,
I suppose so.
Public service announcement. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't really realize I was doing a service for the masses, but definitely not advisable if you're not ready for it. Even if you come in peace, don't have fear. If anything, don't have fear, have faith, and God will pull you through.
Nice. Well, great contribution, man. Happy Men's History Month to you.
I'll have to send you the video, and if you want to, I got a little clip. So if you want to kind of see it firsthand, it's up to you if you ever want to show it. But you'll see the demons in people's face. You'll see how out here in California, the Democrats have created, I mean, something that is very evil, and the society is very entrenched in just a lot of hatred, and it's not good. It's not good, and you know, you definitely you don't have a lot of peace, and it's hard to increase peace. But I'm not sure if you know this. I don't want to, you know, really say too much unless you know about it. But have you ever heard of the Students for a Democratic Society that started in the 60s, the SDS, that later splintered off into the Weather Underground?
Oh.
That bombed the Pentagon?
I might have heard the Students for a Democratic Society before. And that might have been in the context of some of these evil young up-and-comers who are Democratic Socialists, so-called, today, like Mamdani and Zohran Mamdani and others. Are they part of that today? Do you know?
They're just communists.
Right,
but,
I know. Yeah.
But they're definitely part of the left wing. And I know not all Democrats are that radical.
Yeah.
But the Weather Underground splintered off of that. Did you know that... wait a second, is that airplane here? I'm outside.
The Weather Underground being the leftist terrorist group that were commies as well, I think.
Well,
something.
Well, yeah. Obama was Obama was a disciple of someone named Bill Ayers.
Yeah.
Ayers.
Bill
Ayers.
Yep.
Yeah. So my father was a counterculture leader in Indiana, where Jesse's from. Not in Gary, Indiana, when he left Alabama, I believe, but I saw something that kind of made me really just rehash a lot of thoughts. So I'll tie this all in. Give me one sec. Basically, the Students for a Democratic Society were just trying to end the war in Vietnam. There was a civil war going over there, and my dad's people were just saying, "Hey, Johnson, bring our boys home by any means." And by any means wasn't as direct or that violent like the later group, the Weather Underground under Bill Ayers, who was like the educator in Chicago that taught in the 80s the famous president we had, Barack Hussein Obama. But my father was on the side of, no, that we just need to end it, and peace by any means was very kind of in your face, not just peace, 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 but like what I did at Knox. I demanded peace, and I got peace, but it was not that I was going to throw someone off the edge, you know, and do extra stuff and start hitting people to create peace, because it couldn't be created. And Jesse, I believe he was on Jamie Kennedy's show podcast.
Yep.
And I watched it last night. Yeah, and he brought up about how he noticed Indiana was so peaceful, the best place that a black and a white person could live. And then it got really bad. In 1967, there was a mayor named Richard. There was two mayors, not to be confused with the one from Indianapolis, but in Gary, that particular governor, that guy named Richard, I can't pronounce his last name, I forget it too, but he came to be in power, and soon after, it erupted in Indiana, where my dad was basically in the mix of. Okay, he was more of a peaceful person, but he was in the mix of one side in Bloomington, KKK was bombing Black Panthers. Black Panthers in Bloomington, Indiana, they were bombing the Ku Klux Klan. Okay,
wow.
And so it is true what he said. Okay, this guy Richard, the mayor. Okay, as soon as he confronted racism and confronted, you know, these things, you know, it escalated, it erupted, and so it got worse essentially, and it's because he was a violent person, and it just bubbled up to the surface, and it was just real bad. Okay, so there's something to be said about peaceful movements that are trying to lead for civil rights. We got Martin Luther King on one side. The other, we have Malcolm X. Malcolm X was by any means necessary.
Yeah.
And he meant it. Okay, that's the Nation of Islam. But the blacks followed. Martin Luther King, he was a Christian. He was
So-called.
what the Christians followed.
Yeah.
Right. So-called, but he brought about more peace. Martin Luther King was not bombing anyone, attacking anyone. And now to go back to Weather Underground. That's what they did. They, on 1970, bombed the Capitol. And in 71, they bombed the Pentagon. And though the FBI thought they were domestic homegrown terrorists, they were never officially designated. Like the BLM group was never officially designated as a terrorist group. But they are terrorists, and they did have the Summer of Love. So in 2020, when this president, Barack Hussein Obama, with the tactics he learned from Bill Ayers, okay, allowed for what Nancy Pelosi did to stand down. It's like their MO, their modus operandi. All they know is to disrupt things and to dismantle things and to be divisive. And because of this is who is the Democrats today. Okay, they came from that group. Maxine Waters is an example.
Oh, yeah.
Very radical.
Hugely.
Karen Bass is a very radical who took trips to Cuba with Versenmos Brigade, like communist sympathizers, just trying to disrupt, dismantle, and destroy America. That's who's the ones that allowed for supposed terrorists like the January 6ers to go into the Capitol and to do all this mayhem, but who was the one that allowed for them to stand down? Who allowed for the radicalists to be able to come into the Capitol? That was the Democrats. That's what they do. They project out things that what they themselves do.
Yeah.
They are the radicals.
Yep.
I don't know how I can tie it all in together, but if it all makes sense or if it doesn't, the devil is a Democrat.
Thank you,
and he
sir.
lives right here. He has horns. His name's Governor Newsom. Yeah.
Thanks again, Justin. I appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Happy
You too.
Men's History Month.
You as well. Bye. Wow. They accuse you of what they are. I have to get to Rob in NorCal. Been on hold forever. Rob, go.
What's going on, Hake?
Hey.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Just a warning, when I did start this call, my kids were not awake running around, so maybe a little background. But at first I was going to call about the guy from Canada who called about the aerosolized mod-RNA, modified RNA, Schmaxine.
Yep, mRNA.
It's actually modified RNA. It's not mRNA. So because it's actually gene therapy. It's not even Schmaxine.
Okay.
And a lot of the reasons why we can't trust all of the docs these days, and nothing that I say is true, but this is how it is. The Flexner Report was a report done for the Rockefellers, like way back in the day.
The what report?
I think it was like Flexner, Flexner.
Okay, Rockefeller.
And and he turned it into the Rockefellers. Basically, it was a report that said everything that was garbage about the colleges back in that day. And so he took that report to the Rockefellers. The Rockefellers took it to all the schools and said, look, we'll give you a bunch of money to build up your schools, but you got to keep 2 of our people on your board at all times. So they kind of...
Hello?
Long story short.
Your phone cut out there. I didn't hear what you just said. They
I'm
kind
sorry
of
about
what?
that. So they basically took that report about how the medical schools were faulty, and then they said that they would donate a bunch of money to rebuild all of these schools, but that the schools had to keep 2 of the Rockefeller members on the board of each individual school at all times.
So it was a power grab, according to what you're saying.
Pretty much, yes. And basically, the aerosolized thing, that actually was in 2023 they started talking about that. And that was kind of a way to kind of, you know those misters that you see in the bathroom sometimes where they just go, they shoot stuff out?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like one of the things they wanted to do with that, where it's like they're basically schmaxining you without consent.
Yeah. Terrible. Crazy.
So, yeah.
It's like it's like the fluoride in the water. It's good for your teeth, they
Correct.
say, which I believe.
Yeah. It's always something good, right? Yeah.
What a mess.
But then, definitely. I do want to do a Men's History Month before we run out of time here.
Yeah, real quick.
All right, Wernher von Braun.
Hey, why do I recognize that name?
Because he created this group of people that have fooled your grandparents, they fooled your parents, and they fooled you. That's NASA. He created NASA.
Oh, he led NASA's development. Really?
Yeah.
What a name.
Yeah, he was
Wernher. Von, V-O-N, lowercase. Braun, B-R-A-U-N.
Hey,
nice.
Correct.
So he's a men's history moment.
Yes. And he was an ex-Nazi scientist.
Right. That's where I recognize him from where I recognize him.
And so, and I don't know if you know this, but Nazi, Na is national, and Z is Zionism.
Oh.
Or Zionist.
Oh, I thought it was socialist.
No.
Is socialism and Zionism the same thing? Oh, Z-I is Zion.
No.
Interesting.
Correct. Yeah. So go down the rabbit hole on that one of these days.
I support Israel.
I disavow. Let's see. But on his tombstone, it says Psalm 19.1. Are you familiar with that one?
Psalm 19, verse 1?
Correct.
No, I'm not familiar. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Indeed. Shout out William von Braun.
The firmament. You left out a key word in that one.
The skies.
You did that on purpose.
No, I didn't do it on purpose. I did it from Google AI. It's like a probably NIV quoting. New international global homo version.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to run. Nice talking. Great talking with you, man. I'm glad for your contribution.
All right, I appreciate it. Wait, one more, real quick. Another one is Mark Twain. He has a famous quote: "It's easier to fool a man than convince him he's being fooled."
That's so true.
That's it. I'm out.
All right.
Mic drop.
Peace.
Appreciate y'all. Later.
Bye. Beautiful quote from Rob in NorCal. Oh, Lord, guys, I gotta get out of here. Sweetie, sorry, and the rest of the callers, I'll get to you tomorrow. Maybe peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. Bye.